Good morning from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's the 10th of June 2024 and the time is 11:28 a.m. I'm sitting out in the sunshine. It's warmer outside than it is in the house, which is a bit astonishing. And I wanted Charlie to be outside. She's hiding. Oh, here she comes. She's hiding under the chair. Say hello to the people, Charlie. You say hello to the people? Hello. So today's readings at even date are going to be a bit painful for me because it's trauma processing. Thanks, Charlie. Trauma processing after the haunting of my dead Israeli ex-lover from 2016, and I've moved on since then, but every now and then he does still float through and poke the bear. And even though I have quite intense spiritual protection up, but he was a very evil, negative influence on my life, colluding with my mother and her con artist husband. So there is that, and he wreaked quite a bit of damage. He's one of the reasons why I lost out on getting my rightful inheritance, because of all the rot and the lies and the slander, the viciousness, and the enmeshment with my evil mother and her husband. It was just beyond, and I almost didn't survive it, quite frankly. So here we are, sitting in my garden, telling my story ad nauseum until it doesn't hurt anymore, and moving on and opening out to real loves, kind, noble, honouring people who have my back and my front. And that's the life I want for myself. And meanwhile, I stay on my own, people, because frankly it's safer that way. But it's a beautiful day, and I am grateful for all that I have come through and survived, and even at times thrived in my small ways. And life is beautiful, but it's been a long time coming. Decades I've waited for this wonderful life to manifest. So it's still a process, and I'm still, very conscious that knowing what I know about human nature, that I could fall into another abysmal abyss. Let's hope I don't. Let's hope, life finally evens out at long last. It's feeling like I've reached that point. It feels wonderful, but I'm conscious that it could be a delusion, or a kind of a denialist, manic denial, as my doctor used to call it through COVID, when I got busy turning silver into jewellery and avoiding the apocalypse. We're now on the we're still in the tail end of that, all waiting for it to all settle into its new reality, whatever that new reality is being prepared for us. One can only hope that things will get better. Anyway, today's offerings are entitled Hunted Hauntings from the Dead Ex-Lover Brings Healings, Restorations and Resolutions. And I posted a meme. I want a man who is kind and understanding. Is that too much to ask of a millionaire? Zsa Zsa Gabor. my mother was a great fan of Zsa Zsa and Eva Gabor, the Gabor sisters. Wow. My mother. That kind of excess femininity, that pseudo, that almost cloying, smothering, oozing sexuality exemplified by the Gabor sisters and Marilyn Monroe and Mae West. It's so emblematic of broken women who'd been brutalised as children, isn't it? You see it when they walk down the street, and I do it too to a certain degree, that illusion of confidence and allure and strength. It's really just a fucking house of cards built up to make us feel powerful and beautiful and worthy. And it's not hard for it to be chipped away at. Look at what happened to Marilyn Monroe. So I'm always conscious of that oozing sexuality and that femme fatale, that grace, that allure. It's really just yet another kind of a mask. But yet people admire it so much. They have no concept of the shit-stained fuckery that lies at the core of all of that. No concept at all. And that's a good thing, you know. Sometimes the only way to succeed is to fake it till you make it, babies. And I have difficulty with I don't like being fake. I'm an authentic person. Even when I'm out with that femme fatale kind of mystique with my corsets and my, my leather jacket and my top hat, which I didn't end up wearing on Friday night. I'm glad I didn't. There was a whole bunch of men wearing cowboy hats. They would have annoyed me if I'd had my hat on. They would have been jealous. Anyway. It was just like, it's just like that though. It's like people are jealous of you even for just showing up, holding your own ground and being unafraid to be an individual, be different. It really freaks the NPC and the conforming normies right out of their chops. Sometimes I do it deliberately because fuck them. Develop your own spirituality and your own soul. Don't run around being pathetic and jealous of little old me. I fought hard to stay alive against all odds, even in early childhood. So, as I said in my video yesterday, I can't admire weak, inept people who just, are spineless and spiteful and verminous. I had enough of them in my life 10 years ago. I can still name them all too. I can't be bothered feeding them any more energy. But they really were scummy and verminous. Absolutely. Zsa Zsa Gabor. I kind of have to laugh. 10th of June 2023. It's been another awful day, but I'm holding my own as usual. Oh, I didn't enumerate as to why it was an awful day. I don't remember what was so awful about today a year ago. But if I held my own babies, that means I was coming out fighting, as I do. 10th of June 2021. I made this woolen tapestry runner when I was 15 years old. The year Case threatened to rape me. Go figure. He was my paedophile de facto stepfather, a survivor of Middle Baldora, but a fucking creep. My mother liked creepy men, didn't she? She brought quite a few into our lives. She really was vermin too. It's probably why vermin is still attracted to me. That need to attach itself and to suck and suck and suck until you're depleted. He had bought me this unusual tapestry to do, probably under coercion from my mother. I remember working on it, and it was one thing he took the time to praise. They usually spent every breath that they had in putting me down, trying to destroy me even in my adolescence. They really were scum. I was raised by scum people. This is why I have zero tolerance for scummy people to this day. I found it amongst Mum's chattels when I was given permission by the public trustee to take back anything I wanted. There is a massive hole chewed out of it. Obviously my evil mother let someone's dog chew on it. That'd be right. She appreciated nothing that was mine or that I put effort into, including her grandchildren. She had no love or respect for any of us. But anyway, it is what it is, babies. I found it today as I was looking for embroideries to give to my 91-year-old friend Ailsa. I found an unstitched tapestry I will give her, and another huge tapestry that I need to complete. Oi. I decided that since this piece came back to me in 2008, it's time to mend it and use it. I will need to find something to stick over the hole. I don't know how to crochet, or I'd make a flower perhaps. I did indeed make a little flower for it and sewed it on and repaired the hole. It's on top of my one of my chests of drawers, and it looks lovely. But yes, it's time I reclaim all that was taken from me and either beautify it into something worth having or pass it on. Today I gave the baby clothes and cot sheets away. I had asked Crystal to go through it, but she was too busy or not really interested. I kept only the pure wool baby blanket for socks to lie on and 2 baby christening, in brackets christening because I'm Jewish, we don't christen our children obviously, but they were kind of christening frocks that Gisela had made. So yes, moving energy on, decluttering my life, fixing what can be fixed, and metaphorically burying the rest. 10th of June 2019. There's a big jump there, 3 years. That means I've got writings that Vocal Media took down. I hate that when they censor me. I really hate it. Anyway, what can you do? I'm living in a world of idiots. 10th of June 2018. It's a lovely photograph of my bodyguard. Can you see him? No, I don't think it's showing up. There's too much reflection. Oh well. If you want to look at the photos, it's listed under 10th of June 2023 in Vocal Media. Because I'm not updating to every story or every diary to 2024 because I had trouble with their AI wanting to reject my stories that had already been published for a few years. That ground my gears. So I'm not doing it to protest. I'm not going to do all that work that I did last year. I need to have some stupid machine try and stymie my stories again. No, 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 no. That won't be happening, people of Earth. It's bad enough they've taken things down. Here's another photo of me smooching with Beauregard, which again, you can look it up. I can't be bothered showing photos that don't show up on my screen because of the reflection out here. It's just annoying and grinds my gears. Life's too short to have my gears ground, people. I had a fun night out with Karen and Jenny at O'Malley's pub. We danced and hammed and made friends with, of all things, 3 off-duty policemen. One actually sexually assaulted me twice, grabbed my boob. I was livid. He offered to come home with me, so I offered to congratulate his mother on her lovely ill-bred son, 34 years old. What is wrong with young men these days? Like, really? So fucking creepy. I let it go as he was rather intoxicated and was just a hapless, gormless youth. He even spilt his drink all over himself, poor lad. 'Twas rather amusing. Anyway, we are home safe and exhausted, but it was good to dance again. It's been a month since I last went out. So many funny conversations happened last night, like when I told the rather sexy, deep-voiced man the directions to Turbot Street, which he insisted was pronounced the French way, as in turbo. I don't know what drugs that man was on, but it was actually quite funny. Jenny jumps in and says, "The girls go this way, Adelaide, Margaret and Ann Streets, and the boys go this way, George, Albert and Edward Streets." I chime in, "Correct, but after Adelaide Street, it all changes and turns into random shit. The nearer you get to Roma Street, it all goes to hell." Debonair gentleman suggests I walk him to his hotel to show him hell. Rather hopefully, with a twinkle in his eye, I say, "Nup, mate, you are staying in a hotel named after a bin chicken. You are already there." Later I had a few regrets. He might have actually been single, although I doubt it, and he may have actually had a decent hotel room with, sigh, a spa bath. But I would not have left Jenny, so that was never going to happen. But it was very funny, all of it. The lovely young woman who got excited by my proclamations that Turbot or Turbo Street was where I said it was, who Googled it for the gentleman, opined the lady in the purple top hat was right all along. It is 6 minutes walk away. I quipped, "I am always right until I am wrong. And then, oh dear God, I am so wrong." I had confounded him by telling him that I was a Queenslander, putting on my best Bogan impersonation, and that it was down the road a bit, but if you get to Emerald, you went too far. So he was very delighted to discover his hotel was nearby after all. As he walked away, I yelled out after him, "Don't forget the French. Very, very French." So he did a little skip. This is what I love most about my nights out. when I go completely hypomanic from exhaustion and everything becomes sheer comedy, magic happens, babies. June 10th, 2017. 4 hours sleep, still processing a very ecstatic and magical night spent in group consciousness, dancing with free expression at ecstatic dance circle, and later with our usual rock and roll wildness with my beautiful friends T, Jenny and Karen. I do believe we went off. I am in a state of physical exhaustion that has left me feeling almost sublime. I need more sleep, but have been up since 9 a.m. with Charlie and Beauregard playing ball. It's a gorgeous morning, warm, sunny, and crystal clear, resonant. My spirit is surging like a tolling bell, or the lovely Tibetan singing bowl I heard last night. What you doing, Charlie? I feel fully unfurled like a lotus flower. Oh, beautiful, powerful, connected, gifted with light and love and peace. Amazing. What you doing, Charlie? Beauregard is mooching soup from Terry, my friend Terry. He really was cute. He absolutely adored Terry. 10th of June 2016, 2:48 a.m. I woke up after only 3 hours sleep. Bad reflux, slight nausea. Yeah, I had that bad last night too. So bad I had nausea with it. I was like, oh dear goddess, what did I eat to upset me? It was a bit full on. Damn, so very tired, but not enough deep sleep due to burping. I will have to get my ass to the chemist tomorrow for reflux medication and hormone patches for the hot flushes. Anyway, I will have to get back to sleep. Come on, Charlie. Don't you go under the house, because I don't know if there's snakes under there. Come on. 1:55 p.m. Thankfully, the tiny dose of Seroquel finally let me have a deep, long sleep. I just woke up. Sleep is wonderful. You simply just cannot burp and fart at the same time. Well, you can fart, but you are not conscious of it. My poor esophagus took a beating last night, but it finally got a rest. Beautiful day outside, but oh my God, sleep. Magical, peaceful, restful sleep. Am I right? No spectral visitations from a man that once taught me what deep, insane, unrequited and fiery love felt like. The first man I ever felt such undying, molten, weak at the knees, emotional, mental, spiritual and sexual passion for. And not just because he had a huge phallus that he used to weigh in his hands like a giant bockwurst and demand of me, tell me, Tanya, have you ever seen such magnificence? I lied. Shmeh. Seen one, seen 'em all. He was a roller coaster ride of bliss and hell, bundled up with his slightly droopy ass. I do yoga, Yeah, right, you should do it more often. And his homeopathic dissonance. I am God, I can heal you, like cures like. Then threw tantrums like a snotty toddler when he realised I was very aware of his cognitive dissonance, alcoholism, sex addiction, and sociopathology. Then he became cruel and perverted and tried to kill my spirit, a mind fuck and a humiliation that lasted 5 years. And even then, part of him and me had not quite detached. Perhaps it had not been quite so unrequited after all. I mean, running up my stairs, banging down my door for 4 nights. Rest in peace, David Davidson. You were weak and I was strong. Even my mother stated, he is a fool. He chose the wrong woman out of vanity. He actually needs a woman like you. He is weak. I stared at her for a long time. She would know how weak he was. She had masterfully manipulated him, her and that sick, evil bastard, Buck Shearer. That was the moment I knew there had been more than one being involved in our tumultuous lust. Mummy and her puppet master had been in bed with us too. So I cut ties to all of them. True loves keep you sacred and precious. They don't let family members manipulate their partners and use them against you. They make love to you and you to them, and it is a lust or love that is a bonding that is shared just between you and that one special person. Same as when my first psychiatrist allowed my mother to attempt to manipulate me by insisting we have family sessions. I refused. No more boundary violations. So he sacked me as a patient. Good riddance, another narcopath like my mother. Like does indeed cure like. Yes, psychiatrists can be evil too. Get off on your vulnerability and illness. An illness, by the way, that was not of my own creation. Even my current doctor was horrified when I told him what had happened with that first, the rapey. P.S. He sings in my ear the lyrics. This is David Davidson, not my psychiatrist, by the way. He sings in my ear the lyrics. Is it too late to be sorry? Yes, it is. Now fuck the hell off. Laughing my ass off, or his ass off. Someone's ass is on the line and off the hook. Simultaneous. Release. Babies. Trigger warning. Rape, incest, strangulation, betrayal, miscarriage, mention of genitalia, haunting, unresolved grief, trauma. This is go and have a cup of tea time if your nerves are shattered, babies. I understand. There's no amount of cup of tea that can unshatter my nerves though. I have to live this existence. Trust me, it's not that much fun for me either. So while I was in the shower, half an hour before Bo killed little Helga, and still processing the shit with David Davidson, the words of a song came to me. Now bear in mind it's not a very good song, but it was an interesting kind of release. So I wrote it down and I'll share it with you. Knock, knock, knocking on Tanya's door, but she don't live there anymore. You can go with one regret. What a shame we ever met. Knock, knock, knocking on Tanya's door. The battle was won, but the war wanted more. You tried to fight me to the bitter end against a force of nature, higher, stronger, wilder than any negativity you send. You blessed me with your unnatural goodbye, and you wondered why I had not died. Knock, knock, knocking on Tanya's door, but she don't live there anymore. But you can go with one regret. What a shame we ever met. I did repeat that. For a moment I was like, what? The battle was done. The battle was won, but they all wanted more. The battle was done, but they still wanted more. Because I was raised by men and women just like you. You were just another ingredient in their brew. I loved you and I hated you too. When you put your hands around my throat and I said, go ahead, finish me, but you cried like a bleating goat. You do not know who you mess with when you try to break this warrior's soul. So now you can't even weigh your meat no more, and my vagina no longer tickles the floor. How many women did you ruin? I can name most of them. But they were weak, and I was strong, and I knew all along I'd finally get up, stand up, and get along without you and your little club of horrors. So I won't miss you like they still do, and I won't fake it, that is true. They can tell themselves, if they might, that you were the best thing within their sight. But I know you were a charlatan and a sociopathic, pathetic, nasty little man. And weak besides. Even though he was a satyr and was hung like a donkey, he was weak as yellow-livered piss, babies. And I need a strong man to be a king to my queen. A real man and a strong man and a loving and kind man. Don't you be waiting for me at heaven's door, because hell and fury will take its score. What I could not do in this life because I was disturbed, distressed and traumatized, I will finish it if it takes 1,000 more lives. And here we have had this discussion before, so the best you can do is bang down my door, because you know that I won't go to hell without you. And if you dare to wait for me with my mother, father, Buck Shearer, and the rest yet to cross over, I warned you once, and I will warn you again. Hell hath no fury like a good woman lost. You destroyed another Tanya too, the mother of your sons. Well, wacky do. They grew up fine, they grew up sweet, but they've still got their daddy's dust inside their feet. I hope they stomp you hard and down, like I had to trample my own mama and memories to the ground. But I stood by, and I stood tall, and I helped to heal before her final call. Because love is grand, and love is blind, and love calls you from out of your mind to do what's right, to do what is just, to say your piece, and to love you must. For when the final curtain falls, the love that is left is all that calls. Well, goodbye, sailor boy, goodbye, my muse, with all your might you did infuse. You took me broken, shattered on the floor, messed up, trussed up, and the remedies you gave were more than just homeopathics. And there is pathos in this poem of you, because monkey see and monkey do. Another man is on my mind, but he's not like any of your kind, actually because he is kind. Well, back in 2016, I thought way too highly of that one too. Did I find out what level of low-level entity he is and was and will always be, by the way. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door, but I don't live here anymore. You stole the light right out of me, and you lived and breathed from my misery. You went and married the illusion too. You gave her 4 children. Well, wacky do. My baby slipped from between my thighs, the birth and death of your own demise. It would have been a disaster, you said. A fortnight later or so, I bled. And it's okay now, don't be sad. I barely had my own life to spare. At the end of the day, you can't rob me any more than I do not have for you to rob. All you can take is one last song. I told you my star is rising, even if it will be your last sun rising. The sun will shine and the moon will glow, and all along you will know what it is to be cast down and to raise ourselves up from your unhallowed ground. I shuffled that zombie walk, but I stood tall and I talked my talk. The Health Rights Commission didn't know what to do, but you cried and shivered in front of their crew. So you laid your guilt right down low, and the seeds you planted and the seeds that grow, you did show. Yet here I am, now watch me fly, no longer a zombie, no longer a fallen cry. And a demon cries from deep in hell, I'll have his soul, I will have his smell. I said, no you won't, you'll get a lot, but redemption song I still have got. To teach the world that there is hope, that there is life, that there is more, that even though he sinned to sin and crushed us down, and he wore us thin, and he broke us down, and he heard our sounds, and he refused to yield, and he refused to seal. Our fates were lost, our fates were ground, but from his beastliness we were found to stand up high and rise up tall, for only the small and misguided can take what is not built, what is not theirs, and build themselves up from our rivers of tears. But redemption's song is far too long, and we know in heaven we will all abide, just some on the other darkest side. So you can bang right on my door, and you can scream my name. You can come to me insincerely, or you can come to me shared. But at the end of the day, no one to blame, for we all get to choose our serenade. And now you join with the Ein Sof, but maybe not the Or. Who knows? Maybe you redeemed yourself by being a good father after all. Let's just hope Zohar has no stories too tall. Update 2021. Lol. Mofo still floats past occasionally, and I just keep rebuking that evil, perverted spirit. True love is eternal. The last David I thought was kind turned out to be a low-level monster too. Trawled after me for years at the casino and at West End drumming, but never any substance to him, just hatred and morbid curiosity, trawling his latest girlfriends to leer at me, which is triggering, as Davidson used to do exactly the same thing. Pernicious vileness is all I got from those ex-lovers. Yuck. Traumatized. I was on the phone to Lynn. Beauregard killed Helga, that beautiful little hen I showed you in the photo yesterday. Just beyond awful. But this is the trouble. It's when you have a dog, and it's kind of my fault because I should have been able to keep them separated. Another dead hen. She died in my arms after I got him off her. My beautiful girl. So everyone suggested I get him a muzzle, and then I wrote, I'm getting full fencing. That's a spoonerism. I'm getting pool fencing to get a run. When it is finally secured, I will get more hens. But this happened just after I was writing an ode to the newly dead old lover enemy, and it has rocked me to my core. So my house will be cleansed and blessed, and on we will go. Well, now that is done, Shabbat Shalom. Let the celebrations of what is left of my life, my heart, and my soul begin. Welcome, the Tanya. Winky face. Kiss, kiss, kiss. This song just popped into my head. I think I will leave the songwriting to the professionals. Laughing my ass off. Kiara Gold. I don't even remember what that song's about, but it must have had a potent message for me that I recorded it. Happy Shavuot to all my Jew crew. The giving of the law on Mount Sinai, a time of tribulation and rejoicing. For all our souls were gathered there from the distant past to that ancient present, and even ours, dear loves, and those yet born. Hashem was a recycler too. She, he, or it, she, it, laughing my ass off, knew. Jews will keep being tied to that place in time and space, that holy land amidst so many sacred spaces all over the earth and across the universes. Hear, O Israel, I the Lord am your God. I am one. And so it was, is, ever shall be. Just like he, gender neutral, said it would be. Life comes easy to me. Sorry, the Blower's Daughter lyrics by Damien O just blew across my mind like a blasting volcano. She it? ? One day, Hashem, you will bless me with my own material and not the sirens of someone else's heart and mind. Laughing my ass off. For the soul you gave me is a unique one, and I always hope to be a one of a kind, never to be repeated, original. If I end up a carbon copy of my own copy, and diluted, digested, and refuted like disputed territories of the soul, then you and me are bound to have another cosmic consciousness, interfaced, interspatial, blazing row. Keep those who were not my true loves far away from me, even in death. Amen. For Salah. Hello, Mr. Crow. Hello, baby boy. He's so gorgeous. I know. It was for the sake of heavenly entertainment. I know I am the cosmic butt joke. Where was I? Yes, Chag Sameach. May there be blessings and peace, joy and love, justice on high, and in the bowels of the earth and the depths of the oceans, in parallel universes and in other dimensions, and let the Holy One be yet another madwoman's dream and madman's delusion, and may we just find oblivion and fall silent as dust, or as loudly as sweet fresh waters on our fiddling, piddling tin roofs, as the cat is hot and the wolves howl and the worm turns. But either, all hail Odin, Mr. Crow, but either nothing is sacred or everything is sacred. No thing, see what I did there? Only a genderless God could invent genitalia and procreation for his own entertainment. What? What about the amoebas quietly osmosing? They have evolved to take loving themselves quite literally. No need or desires apart from their own self-containment. Lucky non-buggers. Wow. In the void, no one can hear you scream, so they invented the avoidant. Run and hide, for even under your don't give a fig leaf, the unseen and pure one can find you. GPS, echolocation, eat cake, much nicer than apples. Love you and them and us. Oh, and of course, me. I do rather enjoy my breakdowns. Knock me down, but I get up again. We stinging butterfly warriors of God don't know any other way to fly or fry. 10th of June 2015, 3:39 a.m. watching Sense8 on Netflix. I have to be up before 12:30 p.m. as someone is coming to buy Crystal's steel-capped work boots. Then maybe, if I feel okay, I will drive to Byron, spend the afternoon there. Very tempting. 12:52 p.m. 4 hours sleep. Feel slightly better today. At least the sun is shining. Smiley face. 9:30 p.m. Just woke up. Slept all day. Boy, I have needed it. Chest still tight, but not so much phlegm, etc. Getting better. I thought about going to Byron, but glad I didn't, as I am still so fatigued. And it's a 2-hour drive there and a 2-hour drive back, so not a good move when I'm already fatigued, people. Now got very hungry, pissed off pussies to feed. The night is beautiful outside. I ran out to lock up the chooks and feed the fish. So bright outside. I just had an epic hot flush. My bed is wet from my sweating, so either the low-dose HRT is useless, 2 weeks of it, or the infection is being driven from my body. So now I'm having another hot green tea with cinnamon, cloves, and and cardamom, which reminds me I have to buy more cloves and cardamom. I've run out. Might as well keep sweating it out. 10th of June 2014. I had another wonderful night with Jo and her friend Scott and his friend Greg. I was on overdrive from all the happiness and perhaps less sleep in the past week, so I couldn't stop talking. They had to tell me to be quiet a few times and laughed when I put myself on 5 minutes of silence, but got excited, so I texted someone on my iPhone instead. What can I say? I am a communicator. I danced too, but talked more. It's unusual actually for me when I'm out dancing to be talking to people. I usually mainly just dance and avoid everyone that way. Yes, Charlie. Yes, my little baby. I had a fantastic night and was in love with everything and everyone. I even lovingly nurtured a flowering romance between Jo and a lovely man who I really liked the way he treated Jo. I hope something beautiful develops for them both, as I could see the possibilities of a great love between them. I hope and pray I get to have a great love of my own in the near future. But I must try not to be self-absorbed and overly sensitive. Being in love is awesome, but a very vulnerable, terrifying prospect for me. This week has shown me so much wonder. I am back on my mission to heal, love, and guide my beautiful friends along the way. As long as no more assholes try to pull my wings off and put me in a specimen jar, I will be doing, being, and living just fine, with or without a male life partner. 10 years later, here we are, babies, still strutting my stuff. 6:31 p.m. I spent today in bed. I truly needed the rest. I still feel wonderful. My feet are a bit arthritic, spasmy and achy and hot, but that is to be expected after being out dancing. Mind you, in those days I danced on very high heels too. I am lying here, warm and snugly, listening to Penny snoring. She is happy to have the mama home for a change. Charlie, stop ripping out your feathers. No, Charlie. Look, watch this, watch this. What are you doing? What are you doing? No feathers, Charlie. She moved away. Oh, she's naughty. I'm enjoying the quiet, listening. You're back. You came back to Mama. Here's your feather that you ripped out. She chucks it on the table. Sorry, I'll read that again. I'm enjoying the quiet, listening to the pond fountain tinkling and the distant hum of traffic bearing weary workers home. Feeling grateful and still euphoric. Energy is still high. I can almost hear an angelic Om. Hopefully, I'm not about to stroke out, lol. Here I posted an article from the New Zealand Herald. Scientists find fasting for a few days can regenerate the immune system. And I commented, my crazy father fasted every alternate day to lose weight. The SOB, that's short for son of a bitch, 'cause I don't hold back babies, is 86, itinerant and alive. Well, he was still alive in 2014. So that is amazing given his eating habits, drinking habits, and general violent, aggressive attitude to life. And I posted another video from YouTube. Oprah learns Sabbath is on Saturday from Adventist movie maker. And I replied, 49 gates to holiness. God is everywhere, in everything. You just gotta know how to see. Then I posted an article, wedding dress for bride seeking eventual infidelity. What? Like, it was on Gumtree, this article. Oh, well, you kind of have to laugh, don't you? It's probably someone's idea of a joke. Or they knew that their husband was an arsehole before they even married him and just went along with it. Reminds me of someone. Who did that, I wonder? Me. Ouch. For some insane reason, I still have my wedding dress. Oh yes, I remember why. It was antique satin made in the 1950s. My mother convinced me to buy it second-hand for $50 as she refused to buy me a new one or my dream dress, which admittedly cost $2,000. I was devastated. Of course I was a teenager. Even little young teenage brides want to have beautiful dress. Jesus. I was devastated, but agreed to buy the dress if we remodelled it into a more modern 1980s take. We redid the sleeves. My mother-in-law of blessed memory added this beautiful ivory sequined and lace trim to the train for me, and then the dress truly was lovely. Second-hand for $50. They were always trying to devalue me and my family of origin. Like, yeah, I get it. A $2,000 dress was a little bit too opulent. But, you know, it was my mother's way of putting me down, making me get a second-hand wedding dress. She was just like that. Just very demoralising and dehumanising. She was an arsehole to me. She really was. And I was in denial about it for decades, right up until when I was 35, and she told me that my sister and I were dirty little girls and deserved the sexual abuse. Then I realised I was the daughter of an absolute filthy fucking monster. And she got worse and worse with Alzheimer's, by the way. And yet I still did the Jewish, honourable, noble thing, made myself available to her while she languished in that home for the last 18 months of her life. And then when the will came out and I saw all the more viciousness and slander she'd written into that will, I wished I'd strangled her with her own oxygen cord. She did not deserve a scrap of my love or any kindness I ever managed to show for her. And that is why you hear me say regularly in my writings that I pray I never meet that bastard again in any future incarnations for the rest of eternity. Because I'm done. I'm done dealing with that monster. I was a beautiful young bride of 19, albeit, and I had just barely turned 19. I was 19 years old, 1 month and 8 days when I got married to a man I thought was jolly and happy-go-lucky and fun and generous and kind. Well, that didn't last beyond signing the ketubah, the Jewish wedding certificate. But I'm okay now. I'm okay now. It's taken 29 years of healing, but I'm fucking okay now. And maybe one day I'll meet a wonderful man or start a wonderful love partnership with a wonderful man who does love me and have my back. That would be amazing given my life history. I was a beautiful young bride of 19, albeit we were all traumatised by my father-in-law's death only 2 nights before, bowel and stomach cancers. My marriage was doomed from the start, but I worked hard at being a good wife and mother. For 10.5 years, too long, till I realised my girls were having a similar childhood to my own. So I got us out of there. No regrets. Freedom meant 2 decades, try almost 3 decades, of abject poverty, but was and is still worth the heavy price I paid. Now I have tasted real happiness in spite of the collateral damage. May there be much more awesomeness to ensue. Smiley face. May there be indeed. 10th of June 2012. I had one of the best days yesterday. Lynn took me to Cooley Rocks Festival early in the morning, and we spent the day there looking at all the beautiful custom cars, looking at all the rockabilly outfits, listening to some bands and enjoying the eye candy. Then at night I went to the Greenbank RSL with Gail and Pedro, and I danced all night to the Ozzy Osbourne tribute band, who was such good musicians. It was like seeing the real thing. Then we went on to the casino for an hour. I need another drink. It was crowded in there, but more meat markety. Lol. Lots of bald men in shiny polyester suits. The vibe was friendly, although I found men touching my tattoo, which was fairly new. I'd only got it done in May that year. Touching my tattoo, a tad annoying, lol. I was having such a good day that I was at my wittiest and in full flight. Gail took me home around 1 a.m. I had walked miles down at Coolangatta, then danced all night, so by then my legs were starting to give out on me. I had one of the best days in my life, and I was happy to sustain a happy, bubbly frame of mind, even with a few short naps in the car. 10th of June 2011. Shabbat Shalom, and hope you all had a happy Shavuot. I need a New York baked cheesecake, and I needed it yesterday. My favourite. That's weird, the meter reader just went past, but they asked me to read my own meter yesterday. It's odd that the meter readers don't come in my yard. My dog's been dead since 1st of August last year. It's just odd how I'm kind of excluded. Should I worry? No, I don't really give a fuck. Fuck them all. Fuck them if they can't take a joke, as Thomas. I actually read it myself yesterday. Yeah. All right, lovey. There you go. What was I saying? Fuck them if they can't take a joke, as Thomas Sheridan says. Here I write, major craving for baked cheesecake. Thanks, Heather. I've made my very first lasagna instead. Awesome. Maybe poffertjes for dessert. I also cleaned the back of the roof guttering, but it got cold when it started to get dark. Getting stuff done around the house is good though. P.S. Lasagna epic fail, but looking forward to the poffertjes, lol. I know I should never attempt actual savoury or dinner menus. Laughing out loud. I can cook. Just, I don't know what I did wrong with the lasagna though. Anyway, you can buy it cheap. I bought one last week for $12, right? It was a fairly big one. It's meant for a family. But I ate it for dinner the first night, and then I had it for lunch the next day, and then I polished it off for dinner the second night. So I ate the whole fucking lasagna in the equivalent of 24 hours. So, matter of fact, I could do with some right now. Speaking about lasagna, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed that lasagna. I'm sure it was quite fattening though, given that I ate the whole massive family size thing. But what? Me worry? Yeah, I should buy another one. I enjoyed it so much. But I've also been drinking a lot of soup too. So there was that. My darling Lynn bought computer number 26 to me this morning. A huge thanks to Peter for the new box, a new hard drive with the old one installed. Woohoo. I'm going to hook it all up shortly. Been on the phone to Jared, feeling very weak in my chest, so going to have more Ventolin and an afternoon schluff, that means nap. I'm so happy with the day. Clear blue skies and sunshine after yesterday's bitter cold have brightened my day. But the sun's moved off me and I'm feeling cold now. By the gods, I'll have to move us in the sun, won't I? Or go and get a cardigan. What's the time now? 12:41. Just hooked up the pewter. It's making all the right yummy hummy noises, but I think my monitor cord is broken as my monitor wants to stay asleep. Damn contraption. Had a fiffle, so it must be the cord. I say so. In denial that it might be the monitor. I used to jiggle around cords, so it's the cord. Do you like my computer tech intuition? Lol. Lynn wrote, I can bring over another monitor on Sunday. Old style, but works. I said, okay, cool, Lynn. Been trying to return your call, but you've been engaged the last hour or so. Catch you on Sunday. Cheers. And Lynn replied, was talking to me Uncle Ed. Thanks to talking to Peter, I discovered I had the monitor plugged in the wrong hole. And it had to go in lower down. Phew. This monitor crisis sent me a bit mad, lol. It was so simple to get it going. Oh well, silly me. And then I wrote, fiddle, but I am kerfuffled with my hoogie kerpiffle. Oh well, back to drawing board, lol. because I wrote I fiddled instead of fiddled. Anyway, stress makes me make new words, people, and build new paradigms and get a little bit cray. I'm stroking Charlie's rejected feather. Oh, sweet, innit? Anyway, on that note, thus concludes today's writings and ramblings and musings and readings of even date. And now we've reached a point where we have the lament of the David Davidson. We can put that ghost back to bed for another year. Hopefully he doesn't keep popping up in my memories, because I'm so sick of that bastard. You have no idea how sick of him I really am. Still haunting me occasionally, 8 years after his death. It's just interminable, and quite frankly a bit odd, since he didn't love me and married Kylie and had 4 kids with her. Like, why is he hanging around my energy? Like, fuck off. Seriously. He brought me nothing but suffering and pain, and colluded with my mother and cost me my rightful inheritance, and, you know, was a prick in so many other ways that we've enumerated over and over again ad nauseum. Why is he hanging around me? I rebuke that spirit. And I need to be clean and clear, completely cleansed and cleared of all residual taintings from the past. Otherwise, I'll never find a lover man who's for me. It's always going to be sabotaged and stymied by some fucking spook hanging around still in my auric field. So I call upon the gods to remove him permanently from my 7 bodies, because I'm done, and I deserve to be in a loving partnership with a man who's handsome and sweet and devoted to me and loving and passionate and romantic and has eyes only for me and is generous of his time and, resources. I mean, of course, if you get into a partnership, you share resources, but, look, I'm pissing in the wind. Who's going to want me sitting in housing commission and a disability pension? No one. So there is that too. That's my biggest block of all, actually. But look, anyway, the manifestation, the man-infestation, the prayer, the affirmation, the dream, the psychedelic dreamer's dream, the hope of the Tanya is that someday a man will choose me to be his partner and will love me, and he'll be a king to my queen. In other words, worthy of my mana, my spirit, my power, my light, my darkness. He will just love all of me for no good reason other than he sees me for who I really am and values, cherishes, adores and respects me. And in the meantime, I dance. I make my videos, I make my jewellery, or I sit in my garden, or I hang out with friends. In the meantime, I continue living my life, my very best life within my limited resources, and wrest enjoyment out of it. And the right person, won't play games, won't be cruel, won't be sadistic, and will include me in his circle of friends, family, business associates, will welcome me, be proud and happy to have me on his arm, by the way, won't treat me dishonourably like the other lovers did. That's my dream, and it may happen one day, and it may not. But in the meantime, it's a beautiful day today, people of Earth, in the space-time continuum, and love is the law, And there's real love out in the world, and good, kind, noble, decent, honouring people. May we all be blessed to have love partnerships with our one and only precious, devoted, gorgeous one, because I want a great love. I want a truly great love next time. Someone who absolutely adores me. Otherwise, it's a waste of precious time and energy. Sad but true. Look at this little birdie coming to cuddle me. Just when I said I want a great love, here she comes to cuddle me and give me a little nip. Hey, what are you nipping Mama for? Are you Mama's great love, little bird? You're my greatest little love. Sweet loving child. Sweet loving baby bird. She goes, I'm 45, Mum. Well, anyway, you know what I mean, Charlie. I wonder what age she is and what the bird equivalent is. She's about 10 in human years, but anyway. Don't you go on the laptop. No wrecking the laptop. I know. Say goodbye to the people, Charlie. Say bye, people of Earth. Mama T and I are going to sit in the garden and have a cup of tea and something nice to eat. And we're going to dream the impossible psychedelic dream. And we're going to make the magic happen, Charlie. We're going to make the magic happen. Maybe. One day. Takes two to tango, though. Remember that. Mama T can't be making the magic all by herself. Oh, thanks. Now you lost that feather for me. Now it blew on the grass and it camouflaged and I can't find it. Meanie birdie num num. She's not being generous. Doesn't want to share her feather with me that she plucked out. All right, stingy bird. Give me a kiss. You too stingy to give me a kiss? Oh, well, that's... A scratch is just as good as a kiss, really, isn't it, when you're a rainbow lorikeet? That's her preference. She wants a scratchy, scratchy, scratch. And a nibble. All right, bye for now. Speak to you tomorrow. And wherever you are in the space-time continuum, be blessed, be happy, be in love with your true beloveds, and have your very best life, no matter what, no matter where, no matter who. It's all up to you, the individual darlings. Never ever let the bastards grind you down. Bye for now.